Hey guys, let's do a quick review of the attributes of the SS 950 kV motor that we've had custom designed for the Drak. Basically, we have a prop adapter that's unlike anything else out there, really. The prop adapter here is made to fit this motor specifically, and what I've done is had this prop adapter manufactured to where it has two 4mm grub screws in it, and having two 4mm grub screws in it and very tight tolerances on the actual opening on the prop adapter, it's allowed us to go ahead and put a flat spot on the end of this shaft here on the end of the motor. We've had the motor modified too, so the shaft actually comes out both ends of the motor, and with that flat spot and the tight tolerances, this prop adapter goes on very nice. So it also gets the prop farther away from the motor. You can see here, with having the prop farther away from the motor, it's going to create better airflow into the prop and a little less noise. So it's a very nice thing. And then at the other end of the motor, to be able to take this motor apart in the field, there is a thrust collar on the back end. So basically this collar allows you to take this motor apart in the field and service this motor. So if you take a wrench and you drop it in behind the motor and you pull this off, this guy comes directly off. And as soon as that comes off, you can slide this directly off here, and you can see the quality of this motor. It has a retainer cage on both ends of the magnets, internally and on the external ends of the magnets, and you can see that it's been dynamically balanced with a little bit of added weight material in there. So the motor's a real nice quality motor. It's one of the best quality motors that I've ever seen. Looking inside the motor, you can see there's an actual thrust washer that rides against the main thrust bearing. The quality of the windings is superb, and if you're looking at the windings, you can see that they're actually dipped in a lacquer after they're wound, so they're sealed up for a little corrosion resistance. The wiring itself is a 14 gauge pure silicone wire with 4mm bullets on the end, so we're not messing with those 3.2mm bullets anymore. We're actually giving you some very nice quality wire, very nice quality connectors on there with a little bit of length to them too. So, you know, the actual prop adapter itself, you can see there's flat spots on the prop adapter, and this is made so you can use your standard wrench on the end of it to remove this right off. And it also allows your propeller to have a very good snug fit, because the actual prop adapter has about 8mm worth of threads that it's gripping. Depending on your prop sizes, it'll vary a little bit, but being able to service this motor in the field in about 30 seconds is really nice, because basically your motor is going to be in the back of the plane like this, and once it's in the plane, you can pull the whole motor directly off the plane, look inside, wipe out the bell, if any grit, any debris, any ironite, or anything that might be in there, blow the stator side off, or wipe the stator side off. You can use like canned air or something in the field and clean it out. Makes a very nice way to ensure the flight performance of the airplane, because you're not going to have grit and rock up inside the motor. So it's kind of what I was trying to do with this, is make this motor serviceable and make it reliable in the field, because most of the motors you get out there, you cannot take them apart in the field. But this, I just did it with one hand. So you can take it apart, look inside, inspect, wipe it out, blow it off, slide the whole thing back together, put this on the back side, 30 seconds you're back up and running. So I know here in Arizona we run a lot of landings in some gritty areas with dirt and gravel, and there's all kinds of stuff that could possibly get up in the motor, and I've actually had it get up in the motor and have some of the grit get up between the stators, and this is not a good thing. And basically on this motor, when you get it, I want you to go from end to end on it. I want you to check all your grub screws. I made sure they didn't put Loctite on any of the grub screws, just because sometimes their Loctite is so variable that they can lock it on, you'll never get it off. So if you're going to use Loctite, make sure you use a mild grade. That'll work fine. Check the main hubs. I also did not have them put Loctite on those, because I want you to have the capability of putting your own grade Loctite on there and not worrying about the variables of Chinese Loctite. In the initial inspection of the motors, go through, tighten up all the grubs, and if you want to put Loctite on them, go ahead. I guarantee you none of these things are going to be to your specs. So tighten them up to make sure that they feel good. I do this on everything that I get started. All my motors that I get in, I make sure that I go through and tighten everything up just to make sure. But I also told them, do not tighten these items up anyway. So make sure you do it just to make sure you know your motor too. Disassemble it, look inside. There's also that washer on the inside, so when you take it apart, you can see the silver washer in there. Do not lose the silver washer and make sure it all goes back together correctly. So there you go, guys, the Secret Sauce motors in a quick little review. And I tell you what, the motor is absolutely awesome. I'm very, very happy with this.